So it's no surprise that, RFK is basically changing a lot of the vaccine recommendations through the CDC. And the biggest one seems to be the COVID vaccine requirement, especially among children, whereas before it was recommended, it's not right now through the CDC. The AAP, of course, is deciding to make their own recommendations based on research, facts, and science, which is much more reliable, and they are still recommending the COVID vaccine for children. Now, one thing I want to talk about here is that people who are supporting RFK and supporting this decision, I think are missing something really big. And that is the fact that even though RFK is saying, oh, well, I removed this so that, parents aren't forced to get it and, it's up to them, he's essentially taken your choice away, actually, when previously you did have the choice. So the last year or two, I can say this from personal experience, even though the COVID vaccine was recommended by CDC, it was not required by schools, it wasn't required by employers, it wasn't required by daycares. So we recommended it, we offered it, but if a parent said, no, I don't want the COVID vaccine for my child, there's no pushback. They could say no, and there was no consequence. And the ones who did want to get it were able to get it. The problem is, by changing the CDC guideline here and not making it recommended, the parents who do want to get it might not have it covered by insurance now, or it might just not be available for kids. So he essentially took away the choice from parents who did want to get it, and now they may not be able to get it. And the parents who never wanted to begin with, well, it was the same last year. They weren't forced to get it last year. They're not being forced to get it this year. So I feel like he just took away a choice. He didn't really make it better. And on the note of the autism causes he mentions with vaccines and Tylenol now, which is ridiculous. Women taking Tylenol are not going to be giving their kids autism as a result of it. I really have to wonder, can these pharmaceutical companies, those that make Tylenol, those that produce vaccines, actually sue him for defamation? Because that's essentially what he's doing. He's using false, claims with no evidence, no backing. And not only is he obviously hurting these companies and their reputation, but he's actually hurting patients and families, because now women will be scared to take Tylenol when they're pregnant. Children will not be able to get vaccines because parents are scared. And there will absolutely be harm as a result of that. And I don't think you should be able to say things like he does without consequences, because it will hurt people and it will hurt these companies, and it's just not going to do any good for anyone.